The practice of yoga is centuries old, but it has a new home in your neighborhood at Lewisburg Yoga and Fitness Center. Lewisburg residents Carrie Meckley and Beatrice Benedict have known each other for years, but it was their sons that started them down the path that led to their joint business venture.
Carrie and I were brought back together by our sons, and we've known each other for years, probably 8 to 10 years. And we've been on this path. She's on one side of town, I'm on the other side of town, and when we got back together, we had realized that we were both on heading into a yoga journey.
Started talking, and I said I'm doing yoga, and she said, oh, I'm doing yoga now too. And I said I would like to open a studio someday, and she said I would too. And all of a sudden, and that was in October, and then in April, the doors flew open. And we just were blessed with this space. We opened in April.
That was just over a year ago when the dream became reality. I have never practiced yoga, so Carrie invited me to join them for a class to see what it was like. Truthfully, yoga has always intimidated me, so an opportunity to learn more about it was kind of exciting. I think my feelings about yoga are echoed by a lot of other novices. There is this sense of, I can't go to a yoga class because I don't know yoga, which is ridiculous.
Right, it's completely ridiculous.
We don't want anybody to be intimidated by yoga. If anything, I'm a great example of that. I'm a very stiff runner. You do not have to be flexible to partake in the yoga practice. If anything, the practice of yoga will make you more flexible.
We started our class with a few stretches to warm up. As you can see, we are all at various levels of flexibility. Even Beatrice, an owner and instructor, admits that she is not particularly flexible.
I'm the stiffest yogi you'll ever meet. I'm a stiff runner.
Right.
And thankfully, through yoga, I'm becoming a little bit more flexible. Mm-hmm. And also, I've always said that yoga is a literal fountain of youth. Because it will keep you aging gracefully.
For those of you who might think that yoga is rather odd, Beatrice would encourage you to try it and decide for yourself.
I thought yoga was a weird practice, and it wasn't until I tried it I really fell in love with it.
Hatha yoga traces its origins back to 15th century India. It is the most popular yoga practiced in the West, and its goal is to balance mind and body through asanas or poses, pranayama, which is breathing, and meditation. You'll notice in our class that Carrie often uses the Hindu word for the pose, but then goes on to describe how to execute it properly.
Coming into Tadasana, mountain pose, our foundation pose for yoga. So shoulders roll back and down, really grounded into the earth. And when we're ready, we'll start a series of sun salutations. So inhaling, hands reach up. Good. Getting a stretch in the side body. Exhale, forward fold. Relaxing the neck. Soften the knees quite a bit, hands to the mat, and then the left leg steps all the way back as far as it can into runner's lunge. So front knee over the ankle, and just take a moment to get a nice stretch here. Good. Now let's take that right foot back into plank pose. And we'll hold here for about 10 minutes.
Did I mention that they like to have fun during a class?
We have fun here. We want it to be accessible to everybody, so we're not a rigid, serious studio. There's that side, for sure, where we hold some space so people can come in and mentally get clear and quiet, but we also have fun. We get a little silly, we get a little crazy, we play some maybe not traditional yogic music, and so there's everything for everybody. And we encourage them to come in and get to know themselves, to get to know that inner child again. That's really what it's about, really.
I was definitely getting a workout. Much of the challenge of yoga is finding your balance. Moving through the poses while maintaining balance can be tricky sometimes, but with practice you improve. And that is the whole point of yoga.
Yoga is, you come where you are. That's the beauty of it. Whether you're somebody rehabbing from an injury, if you're a senior person that's been really immobile for a lot of years, if you're a young person, if you're an athlete, if you're an ex-gymnast, it's for everybody. And the postures are just there to kind of help facilitate, and it's a nice byproduct that we get strong and balanced and all these other benefits, but really it helps us kind of still ourselves. It helps us kind of learn to be quiet a little bit in our lives and to get grounded and to de-stress and relax so we can move through our day more easily. And so the physical stuff that we do is great, and but really there's a much deeper kind of idea with it being that we're all really looking to be just a little bit more comfortable in our own skin. And yoga really is the art of reconnecting people with that, because we really disconnected from that, from the whole mind-body thing. And yoga just helps bring everything back into focus.
Our class moved through the sun salutations into a warrior series.
So in Warrior 2, we get nice and centered and grounded, gorgeous. And then looking out over the left or the right fingers, nice and strong. Strength building, get some fire building, draw the core in, tailbone tucks in, beautiful. Now let's inhale, reverse warrior. So right hand's gonna come up, left hand to the thigh. Nice side stretch for the body, beautiful. And exhale now, let's bring our forearm to our right leg. Extend the left arm up, side angle. If you'd like to take this into a bind, please do, or you can just stay here. So binding in this is dropping the shoulder down, reaching around.
No way. He's looking at me going, do it. Not doing it.
And let's come back to Warrior 2.
As you can see, there are modifications for many of the poses depending on your skill level. The idea is to stay connected with your body and do what feels best to you, not to compete with the person on the next mat.
Yoga helps you to become very present. It helps you to feel balanced. It gives you harmony and a balance.
It's a sneaky little thing, that yoga. It's impossible, and it kind of gets in deep, and when you're in a precarious balance, you can't help to be somewhere else. If you start to go grocery shopping in your head, that's it, you fall out. And so it helps you start to refine the practice, and it kind of starts to show you right where you are. And then it helps you accept that and then grow from there.
Staying present and not allowing your mind to wander is an excellent discipline. Yoga is a way to unplug from the busyness of life for a while.
The other beautiful aspect of yoga is, you know, we live in a society where we're bombarded by so much stimulus around us, and it's also a wonderful space to be able to clear your mind, to gain that inner focus and find clarity for your life.
Eventually, we got to the point where my balance was tested.
We're going to take this into half moon balance. Always a fun one. So, in half moon balance, we're going to bring our left hand to the mat about 6 inches. Soften that left knee if you need to. And then we're going to start to bring that right leg up, right arm up. Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's better. Carrie holds me up. Feels like I'm
half moon balance. Beautiful. Let's bring that leg back down to the mat. Hands to the mat. Good. Back into your pyramid stretch.
People begin yoga for many different reasons. For Beatrice, it was about maintaining optimum health.
What brought me into yoga as a marathon runner, I needed a practice that would keep me healthy running throughout the year. And yoga lubricates the joints, stretches the muscles, and has basically helped me stay injury-free in my running practice.
Wow.
So
that's huge for somebody who runs as much as you run. You know,
it is. It's you know, I started practicing yoga as a byproduct of my running, and now I can say I run as a byproduct of my yoga practice because it has really changed my life.
Carrie came to study yoga first as a spiritual discipline.
I was in college and I had a boyfriend who was really into it, but it wasn't the yoga that I know now. It was more of a spiritual practice. It was more of a practice, we call it bhakti, so more devotional. So we would go and we would chant and we would read all the books on it, and I learned pranayama, which is breathing. So I learned how to kind of, you know, be in my body without all the physicalness, breath control, and all these great benefits. And then eventually I made my way, I think it was a couple DVDs, or maybe I took a few classes, and I really discovered the hatha part of yoga, which is what we are most know here in the West, which is, you know, our poses. And I kind of got bit by the bug. I saw the results and I started to change physically. And as you know, I'm able to do things I never in a million dreams, but yoga taught me to get out of my own way. Just step aside, get out of your own way, and holy moly. You know, if you can dare to just step out of your own way, get out of your own head, anything, I'm really, anything can happen.
As our class wrapped up, Carrie had one last challenge.
Shoulder stands, bringing your knees into your chest. Just kind of releasing your lower back. Beautiful. Shoulder stands, if it's something that if you're honoring any injury in the neck or the shoulders, it's always advisable to go up to the wall and place your legs at the wall. But if you're comfortable in shoulder stand, on the next inhale, we're going to bring our legs up and back behind us. Bring your hands right to our low back. And then slowly the feet will come up towards the sky. We won't stay here for too long, but this is one of the most beneficial poses in yoga. It helps reset the entire system, pressure off of the heart, the circulatory system. It resets the organs. And then as you came into it, let's come out of it. Let's release the hands to the mat and slowly roll our spine all the way down. Gorgeous.
I run every week, and my friends will tell you that my favorite part of running is stopping. Not so with yoga.
It's not a depleting practice. It's an enriching, holistic practice.
It's very energizing. It really helps you to connect with the well-being that makes you feel fully energized, and it doesn't make you feel exhausted.
And that comes from a marathon runner. You probably noticed throughout our class that Carrie gave directions about inhaling and exhaling. I wasn't sure I'd be able to make that kind of connection.
My thing has always been, I always had a hard time like doing, you know, that whole connection with your breath and stuff. And because I'm so worried about my brain's going 90 miles an hour, like, wait, what do I do next? What's coming? What am I supposed to do? And towards the end, I was kind of like, oh. That's what that's like.
So the breathing is just as important as all the poses.
It's more important, yeah. It's really, you know, the physical postures are great for the body. It's a nice byproduct to get great arms or whatever, but really just allows you to kind of access the stillness, and, you know, and with the breath that really helps kind of connect. It's the bridge, the mind-body bridge.
Helps you to become present.
Right.
We're always into the future or thinking about the past, and the breath really connects you with the moment that you're in.
Breathing is the quickest way to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, so shutting off that fight or flight stress response.
Lewisbur Yoga offers a wide variety of classes, so there really is something for everyone.
We have gentle flow classes, we have power yoga classes, we have Pilates classes, we have meditation.
Beginner series,
Beginner
kids
series.
yoga.
Kids yoga.
We're running a prenatal series.
Prenatal.
So, yeah.
Coming to the meditation class.
If people want to check out our website at lewisburyoga.com, we have a class schedule, and we show all the different types of yoga that we teach.
And we have six teachers currently that are working through our studio.
There are 6 different instructors who each bring their own personality to the classes they teach. Carrie and Beatrice are very intentional about offering classes in a variety of yoga traditions.
We've taken many intensive yoga training through different
Tradition, different teachers,
We've
styles.
learned different traditions, different styles, and we've kind of mixed them in together to attract a variety of yoga students. We want to make it accessible to everybody in the community. We're not just sticking with one particular style, but we just want to attract many different people into the studio.
Based on the response of the community, Carrie and Beatrice are on the right track.
So we've really grown, and this community has really come forward to express to us that it was a needed thing in our area. And Beatrice and I originally opened the studio maybe thinking that we were going to teach yoga, and what happened was quite the opposite. We just became the facilitators of this community that was really needing to grow, and it has grown. And I think we've almost had 500 people through our doors. in the 1 year. Yeah.
Wow.
So it just goes to show kind of the priorities for people these days.
We ended our class with a few final moments of stillness.
I like to share the word namaste with everybody, and that just means that the light in me honors the light in all of you. Namaste.
I feel great. Actually, I was like about halfway through going, okay, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work.
You did great.
They call yoga a practice for a reason. It is an exciting challenge for both mind and body.
Yoga is the gateway to other things. And especially to a peaceful, harmonious, balanced life.
Well, really what yoga is, in a nutshell, are just tools. It's just a set of tools. It's physical tools, mental tools, emotional tools to go out then and do what you love, what you're passionate about. And we just happen to be passionate about yoga, so we opened a yoga studio, but not everybody does that. But it's just a set of tools to be able to move through this life easily, peacefully, and usefully.
If you would like more information about Lewisburg Yoga and Fitness Center, you can visit them online at lewisburgyoga.com. Well, that does it for this episode of In Your Neighborhood. When you're online, be sure to check us out on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, or hit us up on Twitter. I'm your host, Jennifer Wakeman. Thanks for watching.